It's a new week in the Crew Motorfest and a new month, so we have a brand new theme, and this week's theme is called Bowls and Trails, and this is my summit guide. Let's go. All right, real quick before we get into it, if you're looking for any of my Motorfest tunes, you can go to militiagamingco.com, click on Motorfest tools from the top, and there you'll find all of my tools. Let's get into it, man. The summit bundle this week is the Maserati MC20 Cielo, the Ford F-150 SVT Raptor, and the Mazda RX-8 Pearl Edition. That'll cost you about 1.1 million. Quick shout out to IVT and the crew for actually posting the amount on the website. You guys can find that every single week just by checking out the This Week in the Crew article. Anyways, you're gonna need a couple of additional vehicles, and I recommend the 919 Street, which is a hypercar, an AGP car with score breaker and skilled and pure, a plane with score breaker and skilled and pure, and then a Proto WR1 with score breaker and skilled and pure. In addition to that, you're also going to be using the brand new Audi that was added to the game as part of the Year 2 pass. This will be buyable next week, but you guys can preview it here in the summit this week. It'll be one of the loan vehicles. The key to this summit is going to be your parts and also just the lines that you're going to take. There's a couple of like really cheesy methods that we're going to show you in some of the point scoring events. So we'll show those in just a second. Here are the pro settings for all the vehicles I just mentioned. All right, the first event is called Electrik, and this is with the borrowed Audi. This one is just all about the route. So I'm going to let this play out and kind of give you some pointers as to why this works. But basically, you're going to take this first jump. You're going to get a jump there and there. That gives you 3. Now, you could actually probably only get 2 from that. That's okay, too. You'll get the rest of them on the other part of the course. Go backwards, hit these targets. You don't have to hit the checkpoints at all. Get yourself a nice drift here. Try to get some drift points. Drift again back this way. Go ahead and get these targets. Then slow down, turn around. You're going to hit this jump with little speed. NOS when you get to the top. Bounce off of this roof, bounce off that roof, turn to the right, and hit these targets. Then you're going to turn around, take this wall ride. This is going to be basically your loop. Make sure you go slowly over the wall ride. Jump off of the wall ride to get yourself another jump. Grab the target and make yourself another loop. NOS to get off this roof. Hit this roof again. Get off of it. You're getting jumps every single time you touch something. So now you're at 10 jumps. Get yourself around. Go back around up on top of this wall again. Wall ride. You'll finish your wall ride here. Get your other jump. You only need one more jump now. And that's going to be this right here. So little jump. Grab one more target. Now you can start heading towards the finish line, which is right over here. I still need to get drifts, so I'm drifting around until we get to the finish line. So drift, drift, drift. And the finish line is right here where all these balloons are. So you just got to memorize where that's at. As soon as you get to it, boom. That's it. Cheese method. And you're going to use it again on the next event that's just like this. All right, let's move on. All right, the next event is called Trickster's Playground, and this one is using the 919 Street. It is currently the world record car on this course. It just accelerates really well. It's got really great NOS power, and there's only a couple of tips I'm going to have for you on this one. You're basically going to have to really try to race this clean because there's not really any shortcuts necessarily. It's important to manage your NOS though. Make sure you have a full tank when you get off this wall or something close to it, because you're going to want to blast it to get to close to top speed. This couple of little S turns is the only tricky spot. You're going to hug this left side, then drift it back to the right. In order to do that, you hit the NOS and the handbrake at the same time as you flick it back to the right. So stay close on the left, NOS and handbrake to flick the car back to the other side. Here's what it looks like full speed. There you go. That's really the only trick in this one. Actually, I'm not actually telling the truth. There's a couple other little things. Let's fast forward to those things. All right, when you get to this part, it's about 53%. You really should have a full tank of NOS. You're gonna need it going up this hill. So once you get past here, get into 6th really quickly and blast your NOS up this hill. Then angle to the left a little and reset at the checkpoint. I don't know how I forgot this. All right, and that's kind of it. There is a gutter turn here. You might be tempted to reset, but don't. Just use the gutter turn. And the rest, you're basically just driving on the track. Do it as fast as you possibly can. Use gutters where you need to. There's not really any other tricky spots. So, all right, let's move on. All right, the next event is called Tricks or Retreat. And retreating is exactly what you're going to be doing in the beginning of this race. You don't have to hit any checkpoints. Like I said, it's literally all about finishing your actions and getting to the finish line. So at the beginning of this race, just reverse, because right behind you are targets and precision. So go around these targets and this precision and get your targets and precision basically done. So let's fast forward. This is all you're going to do for this. I'm going to fast forward because we don't need to watch this whole thing. I'm literally going in circles here. It takes two. Oh, let's watch the whole thing. Screw it. It takes twice going through this like this. Get my targets. I'm getting precision by going next to the targets. Now I'm done. Now you go left. Go across the field. When you get to this other field, or to the other side of this field, there are targets, and you need to drift here, by the way. Drift and turn around, get on this jump. You're going to be doing the same thing, jumping onto this house and getting a little double jump. Boop. Double jump. Your jumps are done. Now what do you need to do? Just drift, right? The finish line is right there where all the balloons are. You can see them, those big circle balloons. Just drift yourself around, and you're done. Let's move on. All right, the next event is called Tricks of the Raid. And this one, there's really only a couple things I have to point out on this one. It's mostly just bombing hills. This route is amazingly good. Like this is one of my favorite rally raid routes in the game. It might be my favorite. And this comes from the new playlist. They did a great job with the route design on this. There's not, like I said, not really anything at the top of this. You're just surviving, being on top of the hills and going kind of straight, as straight as you possibly can. The first real tip here is when you're hitting this jump, you're going to angle yourself slightly to the left. So go left a little bit. Use some air nos to get your speed up. You're going to land on this hill and you'll keep all of your speed. So you got to do that. But make sure you go to the right of this bridge as well, because you want air nos here as well. A lot of speed going through here. Don't worry if you go wide. You're going to use a bunch of these little jumps. Air nos over these little jumps. It just keeps your speed up the whole time. Now, I think I made a mistake here. I drifted a little bit. Yeah. Anyways, when you get to this next jump, you're actually going to skip the jump. Go to the right of it. Or the left, excuse me. Go to the left of it. Easy peasy. Still get a little air nos. And you get just keeping a lot of speed here. All right, let me fast forward. All right, so I didn't do this very well, but there is a cut here. You don't have to take this turn. You can go up through these trees. It's to the left of this tree. Between the tree and the rock, then you turn left more to avoid that tree. It's very weird. You don't have to do it, but it does save you a little bit of time. Just a little bit. Not a lot of time, just a little bit. You can cut that checkpoint to the right. It's very forgiving. Notice I didn't even go through it. On this one, you might be tempted to hit these rocks. Don't do it. Probably bring you to a dead stop. It did to me anyway. Fast forward. And then on this part, I cut through the trees. It would have been faster just to stay on the road. I don't know why I cut through the trees. I lost so much speed doing that. I could have gotten at least like a second or two better. But there you go. We're done. Next event. All right, the next event is called Maseratricks. Maseratricks. Anyways, you're in the Maserati for this one, if you couldn't guess. I'll just show you my full first lap. We'll talk through it a little bit. You don't need to see every single lap because they're all the same. Basically, you want to know where your braking zone is on this first one. It's right where this brake in the red paint is. You're gonna, on the second and third lap, you're gonna start downshifting like right before it, like right here. Start downshifting. This little S turn is a 5th gear S turn. So 5th gear, coast through a little bit, easy on the throttle because the car likes to slip. 6th gear around here. You're going to be really, really patient here. 5th gear, light throttle. 4th gear, light throttle, then full throttle. Go ahead and NOS, get yourself up to speed. Downshift twice over this hill. Don't steer at all because the car will turn on you. Patient on the throttle on this corner, getting 5th. 6th gear here. 7th, stay up at the top of this thing and then cut back down at the end. It's the most smooth way to do it. It's a really tricky one. That's it. Then you want to get to 8th and blast the NOS. You want to be full speed on this straight. That's kind of it. Notice the braking zone here. Notice where I downshifted and braked. Just before into 5th. Slows you down perfectly for that corner. Anyways, let's move on. All right, the last event is called Clock's Ticking, and this is with the RX-8. I recommend using the Thunderwave edition if you have it. If you don't, use the Pearl edition or whatever edition you like best. But this Thunderwave edition is my favorite to drive, so I use this one. Anyways, there's not a whole lot to this one. Up these S turns, you're going to be guttering every single one. So I'll fast forward through this after this first gutter. You just want to hit these gutters on basically every single one. The first cut is like about 28%. So let me fast forward to that. It happens right here after this turn at 24. Cut to the right after the flag and go straight towards the next checkpoint. Then turn left. Get back on the road. That's going to save you some time. All right, gutter all the way through here. More guttering, more guttering, more guttering. You got to work on your gutter. I have a guide for you guys if you want it. All right, when you get to the top of the hill, your goal is to try to keep as much speed with these drifts as possible. Okay. That really wasn't the best way to take that, but you got to try to keep your speed. Anyways, you're going to be drifting in this dirt. Use your NOS, get yourself up to speed. I don't think there's any more resets here. These are all just drift corners. Try to cut them as tight as possible and get to the next corner. Let me fast forward a little bit here. At 70% here, you go across to the left. You don't have to stay on the road. Then just drift it. Try to avoid these big bushes if you can. You'll keep better speed. And then there's a little spot here you can go through without hitting big bushes again. Again, cutting this really tightly. You can miss those checkpoints and still get them. Anyways, don't go too fast on this downhill. Make sure you downshift and brake, because this turn you'll fly right off the mountain. Again, I didn't even hit the checkpoint, just cut all the way to the right of it. After this turn at 87%, you're basically going to go straight through these bushes. Go straight through towards the next checkpoint. Lose a little bit of NOS air NOS, and then just keep turning to the right and get yourself back on the road in order to finish up the race. That's it. To 35. It's not too bad. All right, I'll let my feats play out in their entirety. There's not really anything tricky with these ones. Mostly if you have the score breaker parts, you're going to get full scores on these, so nothing crazy, but I'll let them play out anyway, and then we'll be back with the final scores. All right, here are my final scores. Make sure you DM me with any questions. I do read every single message that comes my way, so please don't hesitate to send me questions and I will answer. All right, thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope this helps, and I hope you guys are having fun with the brand new playlist and the new events. It's actually pretty nice to see a change in the gameplay, and hopefully you guys like it. Anyways, I'll catch you on the next one. Trigger out.